He went inside and he go and march to the living room and then he go and open the window. He was like,
Oh wow.
beautiful. Like, you know, the first time like when he see me like that. So then he...
Hi, I'm Jack.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
Hello, I'm Chow. Hi, I'm Mia, and this is
Zula Chit Chats.
Okay, everybody, welcome to today's episode of Zula Chit Chats, and today we'll be talking about housing in Singapore, more like BTO culture in Singapore. So everybody here has gotten their housing already, so they're here to share their experience and to talk a little bit about like the whole culture of it in Singapore lah, basically. I guess my first question is, how was your experience getting your house?
Start with the BTO man.
Yes,
BTO
the guy
man.
who got the BTO.
This project is in Toa Payoh. I just recently got it.
Woohoo!
It's a very big thing. I cannot summarize into one line, but this is something that will affect you for the next 20 or 25 years of your life at least. You'll be paying HDB loans, and this will indirectly affect your retirement sum also because they'll keep drawing out from your CPF.
So wait, when do you apply for this?
This is a February project. It's the first time I tried to BTO.
What? You got the number? Oh my god,
Yeah.
Jack. This guy is
So-
lucky eh.
There's two projects. The one that is more popular is the one beside the MRT station, and that's the one that got immediately filled up lah.
Oversubscribed or something.
Yeah. The only ones left is King Kate project. Yeah, that's the one that I ballot for lor.
I bought a resale flat and that was after I tried 4 times or 5 times for BTO. My first choice was obviously a BTO lah, but number one, I didn't want to wait for like 5 years. That 5 years is bopao one because sometimes like now got COVID, right? Then it will delay some more. The house that I bought is quite new. It's only 5 years old. If you are Chinese, you tend to look at a lot of feng shui things, and the view outside of your living room is usually quite important. So things that are good for the view is like water, forest, like trees, that kind of thing. Things that are no good is like intersection. Some people also don't like it when there's a temple outside because they say that your house cannot be higher than a temple which houses the gods.
Yes.
That kind of thing. We went to see like 20 over houses, and then this is one house, right, that he went inside and he go and march to the living room and then he go and open the window. He was like,
Oh wow.
beautiful. Like, you know, the first time like when he see me like that. So then he actually really liked the layout, and I also liked the layout. And then the agent that is with us, which is like our mutual friend, was also like, wow, this layout not bad.
So shortly after Amanda got her house, I started my house hunting journey, and I was also looking for a resale flat because the waiting for 5 years versus the additional amount that I would need to pay for a resale, I think it was worth it. Also because I've always wanted my own space. It's just something that's very important to me personally. So having somewhere that I can call my home, right, is something I would pay for lor. And you need to understand what your priorities are lah. For me, my priorities is I want the house ASAP. That's why I got resale. But all the feng shui, right, I didn't know that. That wasn't what I was thinking about. For me, my priority was finding a house that is near the MRT and in an area that is not so cluttered, not so dense. I will be getting my house next year in March.
Yay!
Congrats to me. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And all the prepping for
The
renovations, all the prepping for interior design has been super exciting. So just more of that to come.
Wait, Jack, how long do you have to wait?
Mine was by right 4 more years. Then after that, they made me sign something to extend because of this COVID thing, right? So it's 5 years plus.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you have enough time to save up lah.
I think if you're looking for a resale flat, right, a lot of people do encourage getting a property agent. Eugene and I didn't get an agent, and we managed to do it by ourselves lah. And also HDB gives you a lot of step-by-step guide on how to submit documents, what you should do next, and these are things that we could get done by ourselves without much difficulty. So if you want to save that commission, which is about, usually it's 1% of the transaction price, so you can actually save that amount and put that money somewhere else, and that's something that we chose to do.
Mine is the other way around because although Justin went on Property Guru and all the like 99 Co and things like that to like list down, oh okay, we want to see this house, that house, everything. Ultimately, the house that we bought, right, wasn't listed on the website because it was quite new. His agent friend was the one that found it on his own database. So in a way, like if we didn't engage him, then we wouldn't have found out about that house lah.
Understand.
Yeah, so it's a bit of give and take
give
lah.
and
Yeah.
take.
Actually, for you, you talk a little bit about it on your IG story about like the salespeople.
Wow, property agents a pain in the ass. By the way, this is not a generalization of all property
They can't scold
agents. Got people scold me.
Yeah, I saw.
yeah.
People scold,
Got
but
people
please use your brain. Obviously, she's not saying for everybody. Hello.
So the reason why I was so upset is because I met various property agents that were outrightly either racist or sexist. And
Oh my god, yeah! You jogged a memory of mine. There was this one house that I went to. So I just walked outside the house there to like have a look at the gate and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. Your neighbor all Chinese, no Malay, no Indian. Then I'm like, does
this
it
is
matter?
this is a sales pitch that they use all the time.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time. Dude, I don't care what race
Yeah.
my neighbor is.
Unless
I
they're
care about
aliens or
whether
something.
the neighbor
Maybe
is
not.
a nice person. Are they noisy?
Yeah.
What are they like? Will they talk to me? That's what I care about. I don't care about their race. I asked the property agent, I'm like, why cannot Malay, why cannot Indian, you know? Like, I just was so fed up already. I just wanted to call people out for it.
And what
And
he said?
they never have a good response. They always just like, oh, like brush it off. It's just things that people don't, like, at least from my experience, these property agents don't take it seriously. But it's very insensitive. I don't appreciate it at all.
Yeah. But the fact that these stereotypes or these assumptions that property agents make or have to make for the sake of like their clients or whatever, it's just like this gotta go. Like 2020 already, move on with your life. Okay, this one not
Yeah,
living in
man.
last time.
Yeah, I agree with that lah.
I think one big question is like, when do you start considering to get the house?
There was no like exactly one day we said, okay, let's BTO now. It was kind of like a discussion and then we were like, okay, you want to try? $10, okay, try, that kind of thing. So the more we try, the more anxious my boyfriend got. There was this one BTO site. It was at Canberra, which is just opposite his house.
Oh.
That means he got the extra
Proximity
proximity
already.
grant.
Yeah.
But still we didn't even get a number. So he fed up. He was like, okay, I don't care, buy resale. So that's my housing journey.
My partner and I have been together for like 4 years.
Mm.
So I think even though we get a BTO, we have to wait another 5 years. Then if not now, then when, something like that. So my friend was actually just pushing it lah. He was saying like, hey, just do lah, you never get any number one. I try like 7 times also won't get. Then after I try and I got a number. If there's something that you like, just go for it. Who knows, you might get it lor.
I think getting a house in Singapore, right, requires you to put in a lot of commitment because you can't get a house without a partner unless you are above 35. And that's a big struggle for me because I've wanted a place of my own for a very, very long time just because I never felt like I had a home. It's a struggle because your right to housing is tagged to your relationship status.
Yeah.
I mean, good thing that my partner and I have similar goals and objectives in life, which is why we look at like our relationship also as a very strong partnership between us. Because you see, relationships in Singapore are no longer about, oh, I love you so much, oh, you're so
a bit.
cute. It's not about feelings anymore. It's really just about signing legal documents and making financial liabilities together.
I think kind of leads me to the next question, right? Is like that whole culture of getting a BTO in Singapore. So like a lot of people say there's like getting a BTO kill the romance in your relationship, and also like things about like whether you should get engaged first or BTO first, like all these kind of conversations.
I think it's becoming a bit of a, I won't say like transactional, but if you put it bluntly, yes, it does kill the romance a bit because nowadays you see couples buying BTO first before getting engaged.
Marriage, right, is at the end of the day a legal document, which is why I look at the ROM cert as one of the documents I need to sign in order to get the house. So answering your question, yeah, it does make it less romantic.
It's just very sad lor. It's like you're not getting married because you're like, oh wait, I'm getting married for
Yeah.
like this person. It's like, I'm getting married, but also to get a house.
One of my agreements with my partner, right, is that we're gonna just settle the ROM with the paper signing and all the marriage related things, right? In a couple of years, when we feel we are ready for that, then we will be, okay, why not now? Let's come together and celebrate our relationship when we want to.
Oh yeah, me too.
Not because we ROM already.
But for example, if like let's say you and your partner want to get like resale, for example, which is like more immediate than a BTO, right? Like in that case, would you prefer if your partner proposed to you first? You know that whole concept of like whether you should propose first or get the house first.
Actually, to me, right, this kind of thing is, it depends on the girl also, because if the girl is the very like round fairy tale, you know, that kind of
Oh,
not
like
practical,
romantic, that kind of thing.
romantic, then yeah, you better propose to that girl first lah, huh?
Regardless of what the girls think, the guys and the bros will all meet up. And then we'll discuss what to do. Hey, now how? So most of the time, guys also clueless ma. We also don't know what girls want, right? Sometimes the girls also don't know what girls want, right?
Yes.
So the guys will sit together and brainstorm.
Or alternatively, you can have conversations with
discussion.
your partner, you know?
Yeah.
You can discuss with your partner and find out what you both want.
Yeah, but
instead of checking with your bros. I feel like in a committed long-time relationship and you guys are both on the same page in terms of commitment, right? The conversation will naturally come up. Right?
Okay, like, so another thing about like the whole BTO culture thing, right, is that when people apply for BTO, people apply for housing, right, most of the time BTO, because they can just apply in advance and then think about it later rather than resale, which is like immediate. It's the fact that like in the long run, actually a lot of times like people break up or like shit
so common.
happens. I think this is a very real part of the whole culture in Singapore, is that how people just do it blindly and then not realize later that, oh shit, like I'm not ready for this, and then they like break up in the end, or like they end up forfeiting the deposit or some shit like that. Like, have y'all heard about like stories like that?
Someone I know, she and her boyfriend were together for like 4 years, and then they got a house and the down payment was already paid. So it was like $8,000 or something.
Right.
And then the boyfriend ran away with a China woman.
Whoa. My friend was at the 2K stage.
Yeah.
He and his then girlfriend broke up. To
Yeah.
me, I was like, oh my god, did you really just give up your BTO, the money,
Right.
the chance to get a unit? You gave all of that up for this? But then when I sat down and really thought about it, it was worth it lah.
Right.
If you're happier in another space of your life, right, without this relationship, then don't let the house hold you back lor. Because at the end of the day, right, if it's not good now, what makes you think it's gonna get better like just cause you have a house?
One thing that maybe you guys can share your advice on, right, is like important things to consider before getting a house in Singapore. Previously we actually did an episode with like a person from like the HDB to come down to share like the differences between BTO, resale and everything, and very factual. But I think for this video, it's more like your own personal things. Like you didn't realize that actually shit, I needed these, like things that only surprise you after like actually making the decision that you wish that you could have known earlier on, so that like, you know, the audience will know.
I would say that a lot of people overestimate their financial capability when it comes to buying a house, because they just listen from people here and there, oh, you use everything, just use your CPF to pay, and then in the end they don't have any retirement funds
Yeah.
to fall back on next time.
To think about like now you have to start paying, like now if you're still very young, right, you need to give up like the drinking, you need to give up like the going out to eat like $100 meals every weekend with your partner or something like that. You really need to start saving now.
Overall, definitely a house is a very big financial decision,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't just jump into it blindly. When I started working, I had this Excel spreadsheet to calculate how much money I need to earn. My partner, who is even nerdier than me, right, go and do up this freaking big Excel sheet, which I will show you guys. I'll send you a screenshot. It's insane. It'll calculate for you how many years you need to pay off, what your CPF amount will be drawn out each month, and basically help to project your finances for the next few years lah. And it's super helpful with planning. One thing that I didn't expect was that the grants are actually not super helpful. We sell grant 50k. Then
If you sell, you must pay back.
yeah, you pay back, but not just pay back, you pay back with interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you buy another house, you need to pay a levy. So it is a lot of expenses.
Yeah,
that-
they want to prevent people from like
Buying
buying,
and
then
then-
sell, buy, then
Correct.
sell.
Okay,
buy,
so
then
like
sell.
those people who buy then 5 years then they sell, right, actually they don't earn much lah, because you have to pay back all the CPF, everything.
One very effective strategy is you can try to apply HLE first. It will shows you based on both your income
Yeah,
level,
what is the
how much you can
Max,
borrow. And then from there you choose something that is lesser than that. Don't try and borrow from your cousin, auntie and then try to make it work. So it's best to manage your finances properly.
I need final like words of advice or tips that maybe for people who are currently looking for houses. Maybe it doesn't have to be advice about like money, because I think that one is like the thing we cover. But also like house plan lah, or like location wise all these kind of like small tips like floor level, all this kind of thing. What are things that y'all would look out for before buying a house?
One thing that my grandma told me, when you look for a house, you must really, she said in Chinese, 靠感觉, means just trust your feelings. Because at the end of the day, right, it's really your lived experience in the house that will make up a lot of how you feel for the next couple of years. It's gonna be your home.
The nicer units are already taken away, or the taller floors are being taken away. So you have to make do with what you have left. Some of the not so good things are like when you walk past and then you can see other people's living room or their kitchen, or some naked man cooking. Then some of them the angle is such that from this house you are able to look at this house.
Yeah.
Something like that. So
Right.
sometimes there isn't much privacy lah.
Okay.
Then sometimes you opt for privacy, then the sun will come in, then they say the west and the east sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the things You have to factor in give and take lor. You cannot have everything good, then you still want a good price.
Yeah.
If you buy a resale, I would say try as much as possible to be on decent terms or like good terms with the seller, because then you can get some like tips and advice. Maybe you never stay in the area before. One shocking thing that happened, because the sellers are upgrading to a condo, and then the condo haven't built finish. So they cannot bring like the washing machine, the everything. So they say, I give you all. So they give like,
Wow.
and it's like all new one. You don't even have scratch that kind. Like they still leave the laminate.
Got one thing I read online. If you are buying a resale, then you have to watch out whether some of the telltale signs, you know. Sometimes like some people owe money then run away. You have to check whether like your neighbor got any like security cameras or what. They are guarding against themselves already. If you are nice and you're daring enough, you can just ask, you know, how's the unit at the site, something like that. Just be careful lor. I mean, one extra step of caution goes a long way lah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Thank you for the great advice, and hopefully all these future homeowners out there will take away something from this video. And that's it. We will end the video here. Thank you everybody. And if you guys like the video, let us know in the comments down below what you like about it, and also what else we should share on future episodes of Zula Chick Chats. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye! 哎呦，臭啊！